Good evening, everybody. This is Rich. Steve will be joining me shortly. Let me go ahead and mute this. I'm a little new to the technology aspect of it. Hope everybody's having a good night. I just need a little feedback here. Can you guys hear me? And can you see the screen? Still getting used to this a little bit. Hey John, good to have you here. Now we're on to the weird side of deck building. Yeah, you're gonna have a cool one tonight. You can't see me right now because I can't figure out how to put it on the screen, and I don't want to mess with it. Steve should be coming up pretty soon, but can everybody hear me and see the screen? Hope so. Well, welcome to Altar of the Brew. My name's Rich. Steve will be joining us shortly. We're gonna be doing a pretty radical deck tonight. I have double feedback. Thanks, John. Let me try to figure that out. I have double feedback. Thanks, John. Let me try to figure that out. Is that better now? Did I fix it? What do you think? It's just me and you, John. Looks like we have another person here as well. Yes, it's fixed. All right, cool. All right. So tonight we're going to build the Dragon. The name of this deck is Dragons. Hey, Steve. Steve's in the chat right now. I'm kind of running the show by myself for a little bit. Tonight we're going to do Dragon, but we're going to do something a little different. I'm not going to just do dragons tonight. What I like to do is build a Changeling deck. I want to abuse the Changeling mechanic. Look forward to seeing you, Steve. So Changelings are a really neat mechanic in that the card is every creature type in every zone. So for the sake of the Dragon, who is a 9-mana 10/10 flying dragon that has eminence that says, as long as it's on the field or in your command zone, your dragons cost 1 less to cast. It's got a bunch more text. Feel free to read it, but it's flying, and when dragons you attack with, when it's on the field, give you lots of abilities. The neat thing is that we can actually reduce the cost of every single one of our changelings because they're technically dragons. So the cool thing is that all our changelings are going to be 1 less. The neat thing that I'm really hoping to do is that we get to use a lot of really different lords in the deck. Really cool things that help reduce costs more, give haste, give flying, give some kind of huge buffs just for the creature type. There's a lot of really neat changelings, most of them fairly underpowered. So this is a pretty... going to be a little more streamlined of a deck. Not the big boom of dragons at 7, 8, 10 mana and everything like that. It's mostly just going to be a lot of smaller stuff. So what I did is I just kind of put together the start of a list here. The Dragon, this is a 5-color deck. So I have my favorite hits for Ramp here. Cultivate, Farseek, Kadama's Reach, Nature's Lore, Rampant Growth, Skyshroud Claim, and 3 visits. I also got Arcane Signet, Fellwar Stone, Soul Ring as just great cards, and Wild Growth. The way I like to build a 5-color deck is to lean it very heavily towards the green side so that the ramp is very easy and the mana is very easy. A lot of the changelings land mostly in the Sultai, maybe 4 colors. Red is kind of one of the diminished colors for changelings. But if you look at the land base here, all of the dual lands or tri-lands are green. And then we have a lot of rainbow lands in here like City of Brass, Mana Confluence, Haven the Spirit Dragon casts dragons, which are changelings, so it's pretty sweet. Unclaimed Territory, Secluded Courtyard, a lot of really neat stuff. Path of Ancestry is actually quite good in this deck, especially as a turn 1 land, if you have nothing to do. Another reason I like these cheap ramp spells as well as Wild Growth is you're often going to be playing like a turn 1 tap land, maybe turn 2 tap land, so you'll be able to do something with that 1 or 2 mana that you have in the first few turns while you're developing your land base. Now, as of right now, it's only at 28 lands because I have 1 of every basic in here. It's not sure how this is going to land when we're done with the full color grouping. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to start hitting some changelings, and we'll get with the program, I guess. Hope everybody's doing well out there tonight, and feel free to hit me up in the chat right now as Steve's not quite here yet to bounce ideas off of. So I'm just going to go in order here on my list. I have a Changeling Outcast. This is going to be a 1 mana card. I think it's black, 1 black. I think it can't be blocked. And it can't block. It's a 1/1. But that's a dragon for 1. You know? So it triggers off. I mean, the Eminence doesn't reduce the cost on it, but it's so cheap that it works really well with our synergies. Hey, buddy, good to see you. Steve is here now. Everybody can get the heater. All right, the next one I have here, yeah, please, is the Moth Dust Changeling. This is a 1 blue Changeling that you can tap an untapped creature you control to give it flying till end of turn. Hey, buddy, what's up?
What's up?
Swinging a miss on the 2 of them.
Family, kiddos, you know.
That's all good,
that
man.
kind
It's
of
all
stuff.
good. We're going to take a quick pause here so Steve can get our big, beautiful faces on screen. And I think I've got everything as best I could. I've never run the OBS before. How you doing tonight, bud?
Doing well.
Good. I don't know what this desktop audio is, but I just muted it. How did I do?
All right. The camera was unplugged. That's why you have no camera.
That's probably why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It should be on. If it'll come live.
Just to start the virtual camera? Is that what that is?
No.
You have to be reselected. Working out some technical difficulties here, folks. Thanks for hanging with us. This is going to be...
Yeah, you keep going. Keep putting stuff in.
This is going to be a pretty radical one. Well, I need the mouse to do it, so I don't want to fight with you.
Go ahead.
Alrighty. Next one is one of my all-time favorite cards for some reason. Universal Automaton. Not for nothing, but this is Memnite in this deck. It's a Memnite Dragon. Because with Eminence, or Dragon in the command zone, this is a free casted spell. And I love free spells. And they work really well with... there's one more ramp spell I want to put in here. Springleaf Drum. Really good with these low drop creatures, and it's a rainbow ramp card. So we'll go ahead and we'll add that in a second here. Alrighty. Yeah, Springleaf Drum is absolutely sweet. A lot of good ramp. There is a big dragon you could potentially cast, but I'm not sure that's where we want to go with it, you know? I think there's a lot of value to be gained. There's a lot of really cool quote-unquote card velocity cards that give you all kinds of things for benefits of just having specific creature types. So, certainly into gaining all of the free everything that we can. Let's see here. Got this going. Hey, it's me and you.
There we are.
Hey guys, good to see you. Alrighty. I just want to bring the chat back up here so I can see if anybody's talking to us. What we got here? What's up, Colin? Good to see you, John. We need one Boom Boom, the Reaper King. All of these scarecrows. Hey, you know what? I'm down for it. Throw it in there, man. Worst comes down to it, we just we just moved to the considering, but I think that's an awesome card that I didn't even consider. Reaper King is a 5 to 10 mana 6/6 legendary scarecrow. It says other scarecrows get 1/1, and when another scarecrow comes into play under your control, destroy target permanent. John is feeling exactly what I want to do with this deck. I want to abuse like creature tribes payoffs, basically.
Right.
Reaper King is a great example. We can even go through the tribes first. I have an entire page of changelings here we can choose from.
Yep.
Some of the cool payoffs, we have like Lords and Anthems here.
Yep.
So just I'm gonna start listing a few of the couple that I like. Feel free to jump in whenever you want. Everything's kind of jumbled up tonight.
Nah, we're good.
I'm gonna start with this cool new one that I have never seen before until I started looking at cards. It's called the Herald of Slaanesh or Slaanesh.
Slanesh?
It's a $1 card, which I absolutely love. 2 in a red, 2/2 demon. It says demon spells you cast cost 2 less to cast. Spoiler alert: changelings are also demons. And it says other demons you control have haste. So one of the cool things about this is that like you just get to play cards like this that would normally be very, very narrow in that you have to play demons, but the changelings really let you kind of abuse that synergy. So in the vein of, and we're going to have a lot of cuts probably, if I'm not going to probably put all these cards in, but I have a lot of cool cards for this deck. I don't know what I just hit. Let me back up here. A lot of really cool cards for this deck.
I pretty much was on the plan when I was looking. I'm like, pretty much anything that's a 2-drop Changeling or less is like pretty much an auto include.
Yeah, pretty much. I found one of these in my collection. This is actually the card. This specific card is the one that made me think of doing this. I'm like, well, soldiers are kind of narrow, and like a bigger butt doesn't really matter much, but like having that anthem on a creature that makes my other creatures cost less seems really good. Probably not worth playing, but I love throwing it in the list. We can always shift it somewhere else. Another really good one here. Stop hitting enter.
Yes, you do.
I didn't hit enter. I hit spacebar. I got excited. Undead War Chief. Now, this is a bit of a more costly card. We're not really thinking about budget much with this deck, as the mana base is 5C. Oh, I did keep it pretty budgety.
You do some green leaning triumphs and some shocklands, I assume.
Yep. So we have all of
Mana Confluence, City of Brass. We got the Rainbow Lands.
Yeah, we got all the Rainbow Lands, all of the green triumphs, all of the green shocklands, and all of the green commander lands.
That makes sense to me.
Deck leans green really hard to get you going, but everything else is just supported by the green. I just had Undead War Chief, zombie spells cost 1 less, and zombies get 2/1. So this one's a real big banger, and it includes itself as a zombie. I don't know why it didn't say. It's old templating for Scourge. But.
Sure.
And then I'm just going to put in some of these radical ones, and we can always cut them down based on mana and whatever we want. Captivating Vampire, another really rad one here. 3 mana, other vampires get 1/1. You can tap 5 untapped vampires you control and gain control of a creature. Forever. Doesn't even matter if your creatures die. Which is pretty spectacular. Some more fringy ones. General Kudo, is that his name? Kudro. General Lisa Kudro of Duranith. And again, they have to do the balancing act between the Changelings and the payoffs for the Changelings. That'll be the real fun and the nitty gritty. But 3 mana legendary human, other humans, Changelings, get 1/1, and it says whenever it or another human enters the battlefield in your control, exile a card from an opponent's graveyard. It's a little incidental graveyard hate as well as an anthem. It also says you can pay 2 mana, sack 2 humans, and destroy a creature power 4 or greater. Just like a little wall of text that fits really well with our strategy. It is a little bit harder to cast being 2 colors, but I think we can do that.
Yeah.
What we got here from Colin? Can we call Harold Grey Gober?
Gober? Like go fast?
Harold Grey Gober. Yeah, I think so. I don't quite get it, but... Alrighty. One that Colin and I both really like, and I think that it's fine to consider for the deck, even though red seems to be the weaker color in the Changelings, is a Goblin War Chief. 3 mana 2/2, makes your goblins cost 1 less, and gives you haste. And so that's another really sweet idea to use for that. And then I have just one more before I let Steve take over here. This is Lord of the Undead, another expensive zombie one. But the cool thing about this one is it says you can return target zombie card from your graveyard hand as an activated ability. Let's get this weird new art out of here for me. But it gives zombies 1/1. So just all these incidental anthems on creatures that also reduce your costs seemed like a really cool thing to be able to play. Like
Grey Ogre.
Oh, great! I got it, buddy. Thank you, Grey Ogre. Yes, perfect. So yeah, I thought this up the other night as like a really weird commander brew, and I thought it'd be really fun to give it a shot. So
yeah, why not, man?
Hopefully we can make it work. Obviously, this is a little bit more radical than some of our other stuff. This is definitely going to be very synergy based.
So,
but the question is, how do we win?
There was a lot of. So what was the one before this? Was what Misform Ultimus?
Yep.
Is the one that you can have in the command zone, and there's who is it? MTG Mudsta has a Misform Ultimus tribal changeling deck.
That's awesome.
And I mean that was going back years ago when he used to play it a lot on the channel, and I remember this whole concept. So when you said it, I was like, oh, I remember that.
Yeah, and I know our buddy Jeff. He also had Misform Ultimus Commander deck that he played. Again, just a changeling. It's a good. This is an original changeling. just says it's every creature type, even if it's not in play, which is really funny. Nice old templating there. Colin, I like the Gitleaf Archdruid idea. As a Seton player, I can tell you this is a really good Magic card when you have a bunch of Druids. But so what we'll have to do is figure out the dance between how many payoffs we want and how many Changelings we're going to have, in addition to all the support we're going to play for them. We'll get to all like the creature, stuff. Tribal. Yes, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
So, any other cool things that you like?
I'm just posting something here on Twitter about us being live.
All right, I'm gonna bring up the secret commander. This is Morafon the Boundless. This is a boom, 7 mana. It's a changeling, and it enters as any creature type, or you can choose a creature type. Spells of the chosen type cost Wooburg color less to cast, and it says other creatures you control the chosen type also get 1/1. So this is another cost reducer for color / a Anthem effect, which is bonkers when you have the Dragon reducing the cost of them by 1, and then Morafon reducing the colored cost. A lot of these cards you should be able to play for nearly free or very cheap, in which case you get to play the support cards or the Anthem other creatures for their mana cost, which should be really, really sweet. I love Morafon. I think I'm probably one of the 5 people in the world who built Morafon as Mirror's deck way back in the day.
Yeah, I could see you doing that.
Yeah, I like Mirror. And then, just because we don't want to play all junky cards, my buddy John got me in his Black Market Connections. Obviously a very powerful, good card, but it creates Changelings. It's an enchantment. You could pay 3 life. It says beginning of your pre-combat main phase, choose 1 or more. Create a treasure and you lose a life. Draw a card, lose 2 life, and then create a 3/2 colorless shapeshifter creature token with Changeling and lose 3 life. So the fact that this just produces free creatures that fit into our strategy could be good. I don't know if it's great. I mean, the card itself is amazing. Make treasures, draw cards, make creatures.
I mean, yeah. But the fact that it makes Changelings. So my thoughts, if you want to make more Changelings, are you going to play Maskwood Nexus for the ability to make Changelings? Because it's not really necessary for the other part of it. But it does make it stronger when you turn all the lords into also the things.
Maskwood Nexus is on my list. I think it's definitely worth talking about. I don't know if it makes the final cut as making the Changelings is less good. Because you're not casting them for your creature ability. What's the blue enchantment that I love that draws cards?
Kindred Discovery?
Kindred Discovery. You're not going to be able to trigger Kindred Discovery with this, right? It's not ETB. It's, might as well put it on the list now.
Yeah, I was just thinking about
cast, right?
how many Changelings making things do we have versus actual castable Changelings, and balancing out, because if you draw a hand of all lords,
this isn't ETB.
Yes, so it still works.
So it still works. All right, this is a really good card.
Yeah,
and
it's
you make
also
a really
if they
good
attack.
point. Yeah, if they attack too, which is fantastic. Alchemy Horizons? I never heard of that.
Yeah, well,
Must be
it's
new.
not real.
That's true. I mean, it's online, right?
Sure.
Yeah. Kindred Discovery, 5-mana enchantment, perfect in any creature type matters deck, or as my buddy Colin here says, tribal.
Yes.
But yes, I. In addition to Kindred Discovery, I think Vanquisher's Banner does the same, almost the exact same role.
Yeah.
Vanquisher's Banner, that'd be fun. Just so everybody knows, it's not going to be a cheap brew tonight.
You don't say.
It's going to be some really... the main support of the deck is really cheap, but not all the cards that make it really good. I've been using all these Dark Border ones for this. I thought it'd be fun.
Okay.
So this is just another 5-mana creature you control, a chosen type, get 1/1. Whenever you cast a creature spell, a chosen type, draw a card. As far as the Maskwood Nexus, making the lords into dragons is also pretty solid.
Mm-hmm.
And you get to cast them cheaper because of this. The fact that it also makes free Changelings is... 3 mana isn't bad. If you got extra mana, especially all these ramp cards we're playing.
So what do you want to add more to? More things that trigger? Or
Layla special, yeah.
You want to we want to do more Changelings? What are you looking for right now? What can I feed you?
I really like this stuff because it gets us excited about what Changelings we want to play.
Okay. Card velocity? I got one for you.
All right, let's hear it.
I don't even think it's on your list.
Since we already did Black Market, Kindred, and Vanquisher's Banner, Those are basically like card velocity type spells.
How about Risen Reef?
Risen Reef. Going deep here. Risen Reef is good. And when it shows up, even better. It's a 3-mana 1/1. When it or another elemental enters the battlefield you control, you look at the top card of your library. If it's a land, put on the battlefield tapped. If it's not, then you put it in your hand.
That seems like really great card velocity.
That seems like amazing card velocity, yes. A+ suggestion on the Reef. Yes, it is. That is unbelievable. Not even on my list. There's so many cool ways to build this deck. I'm so excited to play it. How about, what I'll do is I'll start typing in all of the...
a card velocity? We on the card velocity? Did you have a Realm Walker?
Realm Walker, I do, yeah. It's in my Changeling section here.
Okay. So it does both.
Realm Walker, yeah. The ones that are blue are multiple areas.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Realm Walker, one of my... quickly growing up to be one of my favorite cards here. This is a 3-mana Changeling that when it enters the battlefield, you choose a creature type. You can look at the top card of your library at any time, and you can cast creatures of that type from the top of your library. It's just an amazing card. And it's a 2/3. It's not even like a little 1/1 or anything.
So another one that I had in that same effect was Nalia Diarnis.
I love this card. I saw it earlier.
From the Party Commander deck. There she is.
There she is. 6 cents.
There we go.
Digging deep for this foil rare here. Let me change the printing so I can read a little bit better. But
same thing. Look at the top of your library. You can cast any of the party members. So Cleric, Rogue, Warrior, Wizard off the top. And then on your turn, if you have your party, everybody gets a counter and has Death Touch.
Yes.
So that's going to grow your team and give you access to more cards.
And for those of you that don't know, one creature cannot count for party. Even if your creature has all the party types on it, it only counts as one of whatever type you choose. So if you have 4 Changelings or 3 Changelings and this in the field, because this counts as a rogue, you can basically trigger that ability for having a full party.
The other one I liked for cards in that vein was Nimble Trap Finder.
Nimble Trap Finder. Good old blue card from Zendikar, I want to say.
Yep.
Yeah, 2-mana 1/2 rogue. It can't be blocked if you. Sorry, you want to try this one? Get shot here.
Can't be blocked if you had another Cleric, Rogue, Warrior, or Wizard enter the battlefield under your control this turn. So if you basically cast any Changeling or it enters, not blockable, and then at the beginning of combat in your turn, if you have a full party, everybody gets the if you hit, draw a card. Yeah. By Nathasa, Coastal Piracy, type effect. So this is going to give you access to more cards.
John, I love Azami as a suggestion, but triple blue in a 5C deck is going to be kind of hard to swing.
True.
Harder to swing. Also, we have lots of ways of drawing cards without having to tap our creatures, so we really want to be able to hold those up for attacking and blocking and such.
In the same vein, would you like treasures when you hit?
I love treasures, yeah.
How about Magda?
Magda. Oh my god, Magda's so good in this deck.
Magda says you tap your dwarves and you get treasures, and it's Lord, and you can sack treasures to go get a dragon, but they're all dragons.
This is so good.
See, this is why I think the Maskwood Nexus gets even better.
It gets so good, yeah, because then Magda only costs 1 red.
Right?
Again, we'll have to do a dancing act at the end. I just want you guys to know Steve is suggesting a whole bunch of cards that I didn't even put on my list of 140 cards that I was thinking about.
Sorry?
No,
sorry?
Sorry, it's great. That's why I like this concept so much of brewing something so kind of off the wall for Commander. Plus, when you sit down across the table and you see your Ur-Dragon, you're like, oh, geez, here we go. Big drag, but nope, just dinky little Risen Reefs and Realm Walkers.
I mean,
it's going to be fun.
So when I think of, the most powerful lords that can single-handedly conquer an entire game of Commander.
Ooh, which one you got?
I got Najeela.
Najeela is a pretty good lord. And it fits in the 5C. So Najeela is a 2 and a red 3/2 legendary human warrior. That also works for party mechanic.
Yep.
It says whenever a warrior attacks, you may have its controller create a 1/1 white warrior creature token that's tapped and attacking. You can just pay a Wooburg 2 to untap all attacking creatures. They gain trample, lifelink, and haste on a turn, and then you get an additional combat phase. So it's no big deal. It's no big deal. It's a really powerful card. So we have lots of there's a ton of lords you can play that are really cool in this deck. I think figuring out which exact ones that we want to play, this probably makes the cut because it's just so powerful.
Well, it's also the easy casting cost, right?
Yeah, 2 in a red is super simple. 2 in a red, unless you have Mass which mixes out. I have a couple of fun ones here. I have Volo Itinerant Scholar as a card velocity type card. Ugh, I don't like this the D&D page book myself. I like them in the books. Just this is a really neat card that our buddy Jeff plays as a budget deck, or it was a budget deck, and he says that it's 2 and a blue, so it's a little easier to cast. Human Wizard, 2/3. When it enters the battlefield, you create a Volo's Journal. It's a legendary artifact, a token with hexproof. So whenever you cast a creature spell, note one of its creature types that hasn't been noted for that artifact. You can tap 2 and tap it to draw a card for each creature type noted for target permanent you control named Volo's Journal. Every single creature in your deck that's Changeling can be any creature type you want to be.
Just name
You can
something
name crazy obscure and weird.
because you're not going to trigger it again.
What is this? What is all that matters? This creature shares a type. Exactly. Oh, Coat of Arms, yeah.
Yeah, Coat of Arms is just like plus 1,000.
Yeah, Coat of Arms is in my Lords here somewhere. I have, it's like 30 different Lord opportunities that we have.
Right?
We're going to be doing a lot of cuts tonight, I think, if we put all these on here. But just some other ones that I really like are Icon of Ancestry, if you want to be a little more fair with the game. Also, a fairly budget card if you don't want to dump the money on like a Vanquisher's Banner for, $15. Icon of Ancestry, 3-mana artifact. When it enters, you choose a creature type. Creature control a chosen type, get 1/1. But it also has an ability you can pay 3 tap, look at the top 3 cards of your library, reveal a creature of that chosen type, put it in your hand. So that's a very useful ability. I've used it a lot in Commander just because you always kind of have mana laying around, especially if you're holding up interaction. That's the other question. Do we want to put like removal or just go balls to the wall with the actual strategy?
Well,
and just see if we can muscle our way through.
We have a Scarecrow for removal so far.
There we go. We have Scarecrows for removal. I'm sure one of these creatures does something here.
Yeah, you've got the Masked Vandal, which is definitely removal.
Yeah, Masked Vandal is sweet.
That's removal, and it's a Changeling.
Masked Vandal, 2-mana Changeling, 1 in a green. Going back up here so you guys can see it. There it is. It's a 1/3, and it says when it enters the battlefield, exile a creature from your graveyard. If you do, exile artifact or enchantment opponent controls. Great little removal spell. I think Coat of Arms is pretty scary in this deck, right?
I mean, it's terrifying.
I also have things like Mana Echoes. Where was the other one that I really liked? Rick. Steadfast Leader.
Terrifying.
Like, there's some Crucible of Fire is another good one. Oh, sorry.
I clicked it.
So this list is enormous. We'll have to figure out what we want to do. Should we get the Changelings in here so we have an idea of how many cards we have?
Get all the little guys.
So I'll start listing the Changelings, and we'll maybe talk
Void.
about some cards in the list. I'm just going to list the Changelings. We can go over them, but basically all you need to know is they're cheap creatures, for the most part, that are Changelings, or they're powerful because of their mana cost. So,
got Fire Belly for sure. That's not just a fire breathing 2-drop, right?
Yep, 1-drop. We have Dragon. This is what I wanted to do. I like
Guardian Gladewalker. That one's easy too. That's
Guardian
the one that
Glade
does
is there
like a +1 counter.
Yeah, this is the one that you want to copy a bunch, right? Oh no, what am I thinking of? There's one that like when another one of the same name enters. This one's just 2 mana. Put a 1/1 counter on a creature when it enters. So.
Yep.
Totally fine. Imposter. I don't really like this card too much, but it is still a very cheap 1/3 dragon, zombie, goblin. That's not what I wanted.
Imposter Mac's a fun card, but I don't think that's what you want. You got a vehicle. You just put a vehicle in the list. Yeah. Enters as a copy. I really like those. Imposter Mac's broken.
Creature and opponent controls though.
Yeah.
If it was one of mine, then we'd be talking.
It's always Dockside.
Yeah. I was putting in imposter like this. Oh, impostor. That's what it is, right? Come on. Where's my card? There it is. Impostor of the Sixth Bride. can just add a ton of creatures here, and then you can just stop me and tell me to stop whatever. We do the Mass Vandal really. What do you think about Metallic Mimic? Think it's worth it? It doesn't cast as a creature type, so you don't get the reduced from Ur Dragon.
Nah, probably not.
All right.
That's a 3-mana one?
Shape Sharer. Oh, we got something. Wow. I didn't realize it was so expensive. Let's go take a look at it. It is a 2-mana 1/1. It can become a copy of target creature until your next turn for 3 mana. That seems pretty good when we have a bunch of lords. As long as they're not, legendary, you're good to go.
You put Imposter in. Was that Shapesharer that you just did?
That was Shapesharer.
Shapesharer. Skeletal Changeling? Is that the other one? You got that one?
Yeah, they're all here. Skeletal
That
Changeling is a
fine.
black one that I think regenerates.
Yep.
Yep, that's totally fine.
And then Unsettled Mariner, yeah, for sure.
I really like Unsettled Mariner, even
That's
if its
great.
mana cost is very challenging in this deck because it's not base green. It is 2 colors, blue and white, which are two of the one of the lesser colors in white. But the ability on it's like annoying, just annoying enough. It's a 2/2 for 2 Changeling. Whenever you or a permanent you control becomes the target of a spell or an ability opponent controls, you counter it unless they pay 1. Also, I just want to note that I did not put Cavern of Souls in the mana base here. I tried to keep the mana as inexpensive as I could.
Yeah.
Just a little note there. I don't think. I mean, Steve used to play Golos with just basic lands, and you can do it. It's
Yeah.
You can play 5C deck with basic lands. If you know what you're doing.
And the World Tree and Chromatic Lantern was my solution to a lot of that.
Yeah. There's a really easy way.
Are you doing Avian
I'm
Changeling?
going to answer Colin over here. I think
Oh.
it's Irregular Cohort, if I remember correctly. Colin?
2 white.
Let me see if I'm right.
Irregular Cohort.
Oh, Irregular Cohort. Bang, called it. Yeah, that one's awesome. Make 2 of them. So basically for 3 mana, you're getting 2/2, whatever you need them to be. Where was I? I did Unsettled Mariner, so now Woodland Changeling. Do you think this one is not good enough? I mean, if I'm playing like the 1-mana ones.
Which one's Woodland? What mana value are we at with that?
2.
I just have it sorted by mana value.
That's what I have it from top to bottom. Yeah. Just a 2
That's
mana.
a vanilla one.
Yeah. It is green, which makes it nice because it does fit our base.
It is. It's okay.
It's an easy cut at the end if we need to cut
Sure.
one. We have Avian Changeling. I like this one because it flies. Flying is always a good ability.
Sure.
3 mana, I believe, on that one. This one is actually quite good in this deck. Bloodline Pretender.
Sure.
This one is an actual change. Did I spell it wrong? Bloodline is what I did. Bloodline Pretender. This card, it makes its way into so many of my commander decks.
Yeah.
And I'm not like a big tribal guy, I don't think. I have some tribal decks, but not many. Would you say I do? This one's
Not
pretty
really.
sweet, though. 3 mana Changeling 2/2, but it says when it enters the battlefield, choose a creature type, another creature of that chosen type enters the battlefield, you put a 1/1 counter on this guy. He gets big. Really good in the Goblins deck with Krenko.
You want to do the ghostly one?
yeah.
Are we skipping over that?
I'll just put him in here and we'll just cut as needed. Good thing is a lot of the Changelings are pretty junky. So, did I just type it out? Ghostly Changeling.
No.
Oh, no, it just wasn't popping up. I don't remember this one. Must be a white one though. Anything ghostly is usually
Black.
white. Of course. You can pump it. It's fine. It's a little bear. We got Glade Walker next. This is the one that I don't think we should even put in.
No, I don't either.
This is just one that when it enters, you draw a card for every other Glade Walker you have, but it's going to be the only one.
Right.
Unless you copied a bunch. And then I got...
Your entity.
This is a real good one. This is a classic tribal card. Mirror Entity, 3 mana, 1/1 Changeling. But its sweet ability is that you can pay X, and until end of turn, creatures you control at base power toughness XX, and gain all creature types. So you can even use this kind of as a secondary... You can actually... you don't want to zero this.
No, don't do that.
Unless you already have a bunch of anthems out. But technically, you could turn your lords into 0/0s. I wouldn't recommend it, but it is a potential.
Yeah, don't do that.
Because the lord buffs would keep them alive with the static abilities.
And then
Mystic Walker next. It's probably not a very good one at 3 cents. I'll have to check this bad boy out. It's the same thing as the Avian one. Just has more abilities on it and it's blue.
And then my favorite 3-drop Changeling.
Ooh, what's your favorite 3-drop?
Torian Mauler.
Torian Mauler is sweet. Torian.
He's a great monkey. An ape in my Kibo deck.
He's a good goblin too. Look at this collection of creatures. Is nobody else having as much fun as I am? Or is anybody else having as much fun as me? This is ridiculous. I love it.
It is.
This is why I love Commander. Stuff like this. This absolute jank. How are we going to win, by the way? Just draw all the cards?
Kill people.
I have so many ways of getting cool cards. I'm only like halfway through the list. I have so many more. Should we just pick like the big ones? Like this one. So like Chameleon Colossus.
You already got Realm Walker in there. Yeah. Chameleon Colossus is fine. Like, I don't even think do you want Misform at 4? Like Misform Ultimus? Is that worth playing at 4 CMC?
Probably not. It was just fun to talk about.
Yeah, no. I don't think you need that for anything.
Move to...
Like, I think if it's at 4, it's got to do something awesome.
It's only at 3, don't forget. Because you got the...
I know.
I know. Yeah, but we're
like,
trying to streamline, yeah.
I think... Is Morite of the Frost...
That's 5 mana, but it's a clone.
5-1, but it's a clone, but it doesn't make it non-legendary.
Let's take a look.
So I'm not crazy about it.
Legendary Snow Shapeshifter 0/0 enters the battlefield as a copy of a permanent you control. A permanent. Except it's legendary and snow in addition to its types. Its creature enters with 2 1/1 counters and has Changeling. So, I mean, to me, you get a... What is this? This is basically like a dragon clever impersonator, right? That's legendary. I don't know.
But, like, how many of our lords are legendary that we're going to copy?
Some are legendary, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to copy... You don't want to have it enter as a 2-drop Changeling. You want it to enter as something that's like a lord, but that's not legendary. So yes. I think that's might be a little bit problematic for us.
Sure. Let's just let's board it now, so we don't have to do it later. Which one was that again? Board it. Alrighty, we're looking through the rest of these. Yeah, none of these are all that good. The big mana ones.
I'm fine with Grave.
I like
Graveshifter's
fine. Graveshifter is a quote unquote card velocity card because it still puts a card back in your hand.
Sure.
It's just a raised dead Changeling.
I don't think there's any way to really abuse Orvar at all.
Nah, we're not really casting spells like that, I don't think. I'm okay moving into this fun section here with all these weird ones that I love.
Did you have the Bears of Litjara in here?
The Bears of Litjara? No, I didn't. I was just focusing on creatures. But that is a very cool card.
It makes Changelings.
Bears of Litjara. It's a Simic enchantment, I think. Right?
It is.
Here it is.
Makes a Changeling that's a 2/2. Any number of shapeshifter creatures have base power 4/4.
That's a win condition.
Choose one target creature, planeswalker. Each creature with power 4 or greater you control deals damage equal to power to that permanent.
That seems super duper sweet in this deck.
Yeah, that's fine.
Again, not sure if we're gonna keep all these cards, but Species Specialist. It's a really neat. Oh man, I can't spell tonight.
Is that the dies one?
Yeah, this is a creature.
Pick a creature
pick a
whenever
type,
that one dies.
And when it dies, you draw a card. I think we're going to be able to have so much velocity with this deck that this card might not even be necessary, especially at 4 mana. But I wanted to put it in the considering at least because it's such a neat card in this kind of deck. Species Specialist. 4 mana human. It is a warrior, so it plays into the mini party theme that we might have in there somewhere, but definitely worth sideboarding. We want to keep our Changeling count pretty high though, so right now we're only...
Do you want to play the artifact that makes Changelings? The other one? It's a little... It's definitely slow.
No.
Birthing Bows?
Not really. What's that? 3 to cast, 4 to make one?
Yeah.
So 7 mana for a 2/2 doesn't seem worth it to me.
Nah, yeah. I don't know.
Especially because we have a lot of mana dumps in this deck too, already. With like the Chameleon Colossus is a great mana dump. Mirror Entity is a great mana dump. Najila is another great one. And then we have some more stuff coming up on the list here. Let's see here. I have a few that like return creatures from the graveyard. I don't think we're gonna need that, but one with an absolutely fantastic artwork that is also a card I've never really got to play in Commander. It's called Descendant's Path. I believe it's 3 mana. It's an enchantment in green. It's got that beautiful Therese Nielsen artwork on it. Begin your upkeep, reveal top card library. If it's a creature card that shares a creature type with a creature you control, cast it without paying its cost. Otherwise, put it on the bottom of your library.
I play this.
This is a good card. This is a really good card.
All right, come on. You can guess. What deck is that?
Probably Worms.
Yeah, probably Worms. It's in Worms.
Free Worms. Yeah, that's the only problem.
Free 7/7s? Yeah. Or excuse me, 9/9s? Yes.
We're cheating on all these little things. Basically, we're trying to like go wide with Lords and stuff, but we will need to find what our big win condition will be, ultimately.
We can pack a whole bunch. There's a lot of alternate win cons we can pack in this deck. I don't know if you've thought about that.
I have not.
Like, there's some easy ones.
I'm all ears.
How about Liliana's contract?
Let's take a look. I just added Tonos the Toy Maker. It says whenever you cast a bird or beast, copy it. Make a copy.
That seems awesome.
And it turns into, like, yeah, it's 5 mana. It's a lot. But as a payoff card, basically, it's a doubling season.
Yeah.
You know? And your creatures are reduced cost because of Dragon. At least your Changelings will be. We probably will need to up the Changeling count quite a bit, though, to make the Changelings worth it. You said it was called Liliana's Contract. Do I even know this? This doesn't sound familiar to me at all. Chat's frozen over there. We're hanging out, just chilling. Let's take a look.
Enchantment.
Yep. Is this the one that like you lose a game?
Nope.
Oh. Draw 4 cards and lose 4 life. Being your upkeep, if you control 4 more demons with different names, you only get I love this card. It's amazing. 5 mana is a lot, but drawing 4 cards is fantastic at sorcery speed even. Yeah, I'm totally cool with this. This is a great card. I love alternate win conditions in Commander. Especially goofy ones like this.
Yeah.
There's a lot of... I can already see there's a lot of dead weight in here that I'd like to cut, like Volo is pretty slow and junky. You know?
The other alternate win con, which I have never won with, which I've considered, but I don't know if it works with this, because we have to have higher life total, would be Happily Ever After.
Let's take a look
From the Throne of Eldraine.
I don't know too many of these win the game cards anymore. Too many L's in Happily. 17 cents. Good lord, I bet it's an enchantment, right?
It's a white enchantment.
Yep. Happily Ever After 3 mana. It says when it enters the battlefield, each player gains 5 and draws a card. Oh, that's very friendly. It's a nice way to play. Give your upkeep if there are 5 colors among permanents you control, 6 more card types among permanents you control, and/or cards in your graveyard. Your life total is greater than or equal to your starting life total. You win the game.
That's really hard to achieve.
That's going to be very hard to achieve in this deck. I like this card. It's really neat. Why don't we sideboard it for now or consider board it?
Just
That's
another
a really fun, cool way to build the deck. Yeah.
goofy way to win the game. But you probably need to lean into a few other effects.
Yeah, probably want to not play it in a 5-color deck where you're shocking and using all these like Cities of Brass and Mana Confluence and stuff.
You need to be above life total.
Yeah, definitely cool. Like
it's
green
literally
life
they're
game,
like, hey, we need something for Kenrith that seems thematic.
Let's see here. Ooh, here's another one that does exactly the same thing as Thanos, basically. It's called Necro Duality. Never played this card, but it looks awesome. It's a blue enchantment. When it pops up, I'll read it to you. It's 4 mana, 3 and a blue. Whenever another non-token zombie enters the battlefield control, create a token copy of it.
So that's at 4 mana. What's the Reflections of Lijara?
It's at 5. It's also on my list, but I don't think... I mean, we can definitely put it on the list here. If you have one and you don't have a Necro Duality... Reflections of Lijara. Also, this was a lot cheaper at $1 versus like $12. But Reflections, very similar.
And there's some sweet printings of that card.
Yeah, it's got some cool ones. Let me put one of these neat ones on, and then we'll move it for now. They're like Thanos, Necroduality. There's a lot of ways to copy your creatures.
That full art foil at $3.
This one here?
Yeah, $3 full art foils. You know me.
Yeah, you love those stretchy art ones. Huh? Great
It's
card,
got like
though.
creepy, maybe
Those
plague.
look like mirrors to me.
It's got like the plague keeper mask kind of vibe going on.
All right, I dig. Let's see. Oh, here's the one that I really did want to put in though. because I thought that once you kind of get your engine going,
Oh, Patriarch's bidding?
Patriarch's bidding is bananas in this deck. You literally get back all of your Changelings and whatever other creature type you want. It's a 5-mana sorcery, I believe it is. Do we have any sorceries here? It should be here.
Yeah, I
There it
had
is.
that one in my maybe list.
Let's get this goofy new art out of here. Gotta go with the classic myself. Let's see here. Onslaught, $4. How about the foil for this one? $103. All those old foils. It's a 5-mana sorcery. It just says each player chooses a creature type, and then each player returns all creature cards of the chosen type from the graveyard to play.
Right.
And well, if you have Maskwood Nexus out, that's literally your whole graveyard. And they all make each other better. This is kind of like Changeling Slivers, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's got that vibe.
It's got that vibe a little. There's a couple of really fun ones. I don't know if we're gonna play them, but this is actually the first deck I've ever seen that you can play kinship cards in. I've never been able to play a kinship card because I don't build tribal decks that strong in green that usually, outside of like elves, but I wouldn't play this in elves usually. But Wolf School Shaman is a 2-mana 2/2 at the beginning of your upkeep. Look at the top card of your library. If it shares a creature type with Wolf School Shaman, you can reveal it and put a 2/2 green wolf into play. This isn't one of the kinship payoffs that I would like, but there is one that draws cards. There's one that shocks. There's one that makes your opponents discard cards. So they're all pretty cool. I just wanted to throw a couple in here just so you guys can see them because it's a mechanic you don't see very often in Commander. I thought it'd be really cool. I got so many darn cards on here. What do you got? What do you got for me? What's the Sensation Gorger?
Sensation Gorger.
Probably a creature. There it is. It's kinship. Oh, this is the one that it actually 4-card wheels. If it's got kinship. So look at the top card. If it shares creature type, you can reveal it. If you do, every player discards their hand and draws 4.
Interesting.
So again, not a card we'll probably play, especially with the double red cost, but definitely really fun if you want to go like a kinship route with this. I really like this mechanic in a way to do these kind of goofy things. Let's see here. Oh, I'll just throw a few more of these bad boys in here. A few lords and lords and anthems, basically. Death Baron, it makes all your skeletons and zombies, I want to say, have 1/1 in Death Touch. Which is great.
Sure.
I'm not sure about the double black on that. Let's see what else do we have here. Got some boom booms here. So Call to the Kindred. I actually can't remember what this does. I just wrote down the list. I think it's an enchantment. Haha. So I don't think we're gonna play this card, but it's a 4-mana aura. It says beginning of your upkeep. You can look at top 5 cards of your library. If you do, put a creature card, choose a creature type with the enchanted creature on the battlefield. So it's very similar to Descendant's
That's
Path,
cool.
but it's an aura.
I have not seen that before.
Just a neat card. Like, one of the things I love about my Zubra at. Come on, Jeff. You're killing me, man, with the Zuberas, right? Is that what you meant? Wacky Zuberas, man. Only Jeff. Only Jeff.
He wants his Bird Lord. What's her? The Falcon person? Falcons get Anthem?
Yeah, right. The one that makes feathers. Just another one of those, like, return them. I put these in the card velocity ones, but these are basically, this one says 4-mana sorcery, return 3 creature cards from your graveyard on a creature type of your choice. I don't think we're going to play it, but it's basically a draw 3 creatures card.
Okay.
So, from your graveyard.
I found one just like that, too, that's a new one.
There's a couple of ones that return 2, I think, that I had on the list, but I don't know, it seems like...
Haunting Voyage is the new one from Kaldheim. The Foretell. What was the other one?
Oh, Haunting Voyage is the one that's 7 mana?
6.
When you come back? There's a really good one that has a Foretell on it.
There's a Foretell for 7.
Yeah, it's this one, Haunting Voyage, yeah. We'll change the art in a second. 6-mana sorcery, choose creature type, return 2 creature cards of that type from your graveyard to the battlefield. If it's foretold, return all creatures of that type. So it's just another Patriarch's bidding in our deck, but it's just for us, not even our opponents, which is sweet.
Yeah, probably not what we want, though.
Probably not what we're playing, but a very cool card. especially because we already have Patriarch Spinning.
Yeah, we're gonna have a lot of the same effects. Now, do we want to put any straight up draw spells in here, or are we?
So I like Jeff's suggestion of Door of Destiny. It's not one that I hit the enter button. Goodness gracious me. Excuse me, everybody. Haven't done that in a while. And Moxfield has taken his dear sweet time tonight as well. We're gonna go all the way back to the beginning, I guess. Damn. So Door of Destiny is a 4-mana artifact that says whenever you cast a creature spell of the chosen type, put a counter on it, and creatures of that type get counters, get 1/1 for each counter on it. Right, Door of Destiny is in the middle. So very, very, very powerful card. The only reason I don't like it is because it requires you to keep it out there a long time, and artifact removal is pretty common in Commander. It's a good card. I just think that I'd rather just drop a coat of arms and win the game.
I don't want to do the math on that.
Yeah, me either.
I feel like you just be like, can we all just agree that my creatures are giant?
If you want a hard card draw spell, Distant Melody is really good in this. It's a 4-mana sorcery, but you get to draw for every creature you control, basically.
How about a 3-mana sorcery?
3-mana sorceries are good too. What do you got?
Mass Appeal.
Mass Appeal.
Sorcery.
Yeah, I was looking at the wrong section. So Mass Appeal is 2 and a blue. Draw a card for each human you control. It's pretty darn good. That's better than Distant Melody, which is draw a card for each permanent of a chosen creature type. So let's go ahead and just move that to considering, because the Mass Appeal is just better in this deck.
Because a lot of the lords are humans too, right?
Some of them are.
Like Gila, Magda's not, Kudro is.
Probably less than we think. This is a demon, this is a vampire,
Yeah.
goblin, soldier.
Tanos is a human.
Tanos, yep.
Nalia is probably a human.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
she's
there's a
rogue.
few, yeah. So that's good. Let's see here. What else? I wasn't sure.
So I was like, well, of the lords, that's the most common creature type that I was thinking you'd hit. So, we want double dragons.
So this just says whenever another non-token dragon is bad for your control, create a token that's a copy of it, except it's not legendary. We have so much of this effect, but I just wanted to point out that there was yet another one. Just because I think it's like being able to cast your spells cheaper and then also getting twice as much of it seems really good to me. It's almost like cheating. So I have an actual Boom Boom in here. It is a dragon. This Udvara Hellkite seems pretty good in this deck. It is an 8-mana dragon with flying, and it says whenever a dragon you control attacks, put a 6/6 dragon on the battlefield with flying. Now, granted, this to me is like a win condition.
Sure.
Go for your big attack with 4, 5, 6, 7 little dinky creatures. All of a sudden, you made an army. If they don't answer it, the game's just over. I don't know if you think this is too big. I mean, I think there's quite a bit of ramp in here.
I mean, you can actually just get it with Magda.
You can get it with Magda. Good lord, that's awesome. Oh my god, Magda's so good in this deck. How did I not think of that? Oh man, it's awesome.
We did also talk about the potential of this deck being helmed by Tazri, Beacon of Unity.
Yes.
Which Tazri could go in the deck, but I don't know if we need to pay to activate to look for creatures. If our card velocity is worth paying for.
Yeah, it's hard because a lot of the payoffs that we basically we're gonna be able to cast many of these things for much cheaper or nearly free sometimes, depending on the board state, especially with Morophon out. You're talking anything with a single pip color, like multiple single pip colors, is basically free.
Yeah.
Which is insane. So basically, what I would like to do is just play all these awesome enchantments and artifacts that build value by being on the table, and you just generate card velocity advantage like that. Like blowing up Descendant's Path is kind of poopy if I'm your opponent, but it's just going to generate a card every turn basically, for the most part. Well, it can generate a card every turn.
Do we Call to the Kindred.
Call to the Kindred. This is the.
Oh, you already did that.
Oh yeah, this is the one I already did. I thought it was the white one. Did that. just for the sake of fun, I. So listen, like zombies are like one of my favorite tribes, and this card's so cheap and so goofy that I wanted to just put it into considering even if we don't play it. This is a 4-mana enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, create a 2/2 black zombie token, where it's half the number of zombies you control rounded down. So basically, it just generates a bunch of bodies. If you're looking to go wide, fantastic card. If you want to lean a little heavier into the zombies, it seems pretty good too. Because you can pretty much like lean into a tribe if you want and just base it off of Changelings. But man, the Reserve is so good. How did I not think of that? And then one more I had in this
ramps, Rich. It ramps. You didn't even.
It's not traditional ramp in the sense that it goes in your library and gets land out, so I didn't think about it. Also, like I said, I already had 140 cards, and I felt like that was more than enough to talk about. So I just put in Roar of the Crowd. I believe that is a sorcery. It says choose a creature type, and Roar of the Crowd deals damage to a creature or player equal to the number of permanents you control the chosen type. While I don't think this makes our deck, it's still a really neat card, and I love the artwork on it.
It's very cool artwork. I like that.
Nice little old Lorwyn card. Alright, I got a lot more Lords and Anthems here. This is a really important one. Geralf. Probably not the Geralf you're thinking either. We go with Visionary Stitcher. The old 30 center here. This is a 2 and a blue. Where'd he go? It says zombies you control have flying. So this is wonder for your team, basically. And then you can pay a blue tap and sacrifice another non-token creature and make an XX blue zombie token where it's equal to the toughness of the creature. So that just is like one of the best lords you could possibly play, I think. And it's a wizard for the quote-unquote sub-party theme, and it's a human that General Kudro protects and stuff like that. There's just a lot of really neat little mini synergies that really be cool when you get certain cards together. Let's see here. I don't think we need Crows of the War Chief. Let me just start throwing some stuff out, and you tell me what you think. This might be a little bit long if I start typing up everything, but...
So our current Changeling count is 23.
Alright, that's not bad. Maybe get up to like 25, 26 would probably be good.
Okay.
I'd love to have like 30 of them, but...
That doesn't count anything that makes them.
Correct. Do you think we should play Rick in this? At $53, I don't think Rick fits the bill. Nothing in this deck is...
Mastery. The 3 black, make 2 zombies and Anthem?
Yes, it is. Yeah, it's a very powerful card. We'll go ahead and we'll put it in here. And one of the things that I'm trying to avoid, some considerations to take, is that double pips have to be very powerful in this deck because it's a 5C deck. Granted, that is a very powerful effect. Making 2 zombies, and then all your zombies get 1/1. It's very cool. Some of the unsynergies of it is that it's an enchantment, so you can't get a discount on it if you have like Maskwood Nexus out. But the fact that it makes 2 3/3s on its own is pretty good, effectively speaking. Let's see here. What do you think? Oh, this is another one. This is a win condition, I think. To a point. This is a 4-mana red enchantment that gives all your dragons 3/3. So to me, it seemed totally reasonable. Because basically, to give your team 3/3 Anthem. Could easily be cuttable if you don't care about it, but I thought that was a pretty sweet one. I don't think we want any little ones like Rally the Ranks, Shared Triumph. Shared Animosity, also quite powerful in this deck. If I remember correctly, that's a creature type one, right? It's only attacking creatures get that a bonus. 2 and a red, whenever a creature you control attacks, it gets 1/1 on turn for each other attacking creature that shares a creature type with it. Very powerful. And it's only 3 mana. Coat of Arms we did. We don't need that. We don't need that. We don't need that. Ooh, here's another really good one. And John, if you haven't put this in Alila yet, I don't know what you're doing, man.
Echoes of the Chosen?
Yeah, Echoes of the Chosen. This is a 1 black-white enchantment. And then when it enters, you choose a creature type. Creatures of that type get 1/1. And then also you can pay 1 and sack a creature of that type to give another creature you control indestructible. Very powerful at protecting your lords and stuff like that. And it's just a really inexpensive enchantment with lots of text on it. I can't believe this is an uncommon. It's so good.
So I put out a a tweet earlier in the day asking for people's favorite tribal payoffs.
Ooh.
And another one that came back from our friend Dan at Modanon was Notorious Throng.
Is this the extra turn spell one?
Yes.
You know, we have a lot of rogues. Just saying. That's a sorcery, right?
Yep.
Notorious Throng. 3 and a blue for a tribal sorcery rogue. It says create X 1/1 black fairy rogue creature tokens with flying, where X is the damage dealt to your opponent's this turn. If the probable cost of 6 was paid, you take an extra turn after this one. So you're gonna be getting in with fairies, especially if you have this. What is it? The Giralf here. This card's bananas in this deck. That's a good payoff. Anybody else have any other sweet ones?
The other was our friend Brian from the Bufftown Bullies crew was talking about a crazy brew that had a combo finish with Changeling Berserker, Changeling Hero, and Changeling Titan. I imagine some sort of strange loop of championing a Changeling and then getting another one. And
I don't think that I would want to do a combo finish. I do have all 3 of those listed here at the end of my list for possible Changelings if we needed more. But the fact they have to champion a Changeling in our quote-unquote very fair deck doesn't seem worth it. Also, I do want to point out that you can get to a point where you just cast the Ur Dragon and you get all the value from Ur Dragon too. It's a very powerful Magic card.
I mean, that's why you're playing it. Besides the cost reduction, is that it can eventually just worst case scenario. Here's Ur Dragon.
This is also card velocity. This is a threat. It's a card. It's a Lord reduction. It's a really cool commander that we could easily replace with any 5C commander in this deck. But it just gives you so much extra value just sitting there. Seems great. Like mana echoes in this deck. I don't know if we're using that much
red
colors.
one that gives you colorless.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, I don't think we really need that.
I don't think we do either. I just wanted to talk about it for 1 second. Just say, if this is the way you're leaning, it seems like a fine card if you could use the mana for it.
Yeah, I think if you could,
like, if you had a bunch of fire-breathing colorless stuff or a bunch of X spells or something, that would be really cool. But
or if you had some way of filtering mana, like if you played some sort of prismatic kind of effect.
Yeah, that's true.
There's a bunch of those out there in the world. There's a bunch of the Prismite, comes to mind.
Prismite's pretty good.
Just to kind of filter in and out of colors.
I forgot what this one is, but I remember putting it on the list for a reason. Starnheim Aspirant. Oh, this is just another lord that makes things cheaper. That's if we were going to go with the big. There's some big make creatures cheaper ones.
Sure.
Again, I probably don't want this one because it's not very good in this deck. But
yeah, I like the one that does it for demons and they get haste is like.
Yeah, that one's just awesome.
That's much more powerful at the same CMC cost.
And the War Chief probably gets cut here. Even though it does the same thing, just having the double red pips, and red being one of the lesser colors in the deck currently.
Yeah.
Looks like to me like it's a more Sultai with white. Oh, I'm gonna sideboard Rick, or do you want to leave it in there? I don't think Colin can get one.
Fair enough.
Yeah, sorry, Colin. I don't think you're gonna want to play this one on the stream, buddy. This is gonna be a pretty. I mean, we're at 461 with 100 cards now, but I still have another 30 cards I want to talk about. I'll have to start moving a little quicker here. So we have Nylea Keen-Eyed. Is another just
mana dump.
It's just a mana dump, cost reducer, indestructible enchantment creature. It's not enchantment creature, it's indestructible. Where did I put it? Right here. It becomes a creature if your devotion to green is 5 or better. Creature spells cost 1 less. For 2 into green, you can reveal a top card of your library if it's a creature put in your hand. This is a great way to draw more cards, which leads into, and again, we probably end up cutting these, but I think this is a sweet Cryptolith Rights deck because of the fact that we have so many cost reducers and ways to give haste. Didn't spell it correctly because it's crypto. But this is an amazing card that I used to play way back in the day when Colin and me used to play a lot. Played a what's the name of that green-white tokens deck that I played? Tristani, yeah. She was real good. What card did I just add? I forgot what card I just put in.
I don't know where you are on your list, man.
I got lost.
You're all over the place.
Sorry, I'm a little tired, everybody.
Let me find it. Here, watch this. So, Moxfield feature
Oh,
You
recent
can
history.
go to recent history and it'll tell you what you just did.
Cryptolith Right.
You put in Cryptolith Right.
Yes. This is just a 2-mana enchantment that you can tap your creature. It just gives your creatures the ability to tap for any color. They don't get haste from it, so if they're sick, then you can't tap them. But very powerful magic card. Let's get into this stuff here, I think. I think this is probably the only one or two that I want here, but I think that Crux of Fate is probably very, very good in this deck.
Sure.
As, like, sometimes you just want to wrath them out. I think Crux of Fate is perfect. You want to pick the non-dragons, because you control all dragons and stuff. Just a 5-mana sorcery. Destroy dragons or destroy not dragons. Let's see here. Then we got Assault Ravager. You know this one?
Not by name.
Yeah, me either.
Maybe by artwork.
Cool. 5 center here.
Assume that's a creature?
It's probably a creature, yeah. Assault Ravager. When it enters, it just deals damage equal to the greatest number of creatures you control that have a type in common. If you're looking to budget out and you want some big, like, hit hard spells, this is a fine one. Past all this. Crippling Fear. Which one was that? You can see I have too much into this. I was just going on a Stormfest with my brain. If we get, I won't go any higher than 120 or so. So we gotta make cuts, and we're already moving pretty late here. That was Crippling Fear. I love this Wrath in this deck, and you have a really good one that you sent me. It's 2 black sorcery. Choose a creature type. Creatures that aren't that type get -3/-3 until end of turn. So one-sided Wrath for 4 mana seems pretty sweet, just like Crux of Fate for 5 mana. And I can't remember the name of that one.
Whelming Wave?
Whelming Wave. It's not exactly a Wrath, but it kind of acts as one. 2 blue sorcery. Return all non-leviathans, octopuses, serpents, krakens to their owner's hands.
Yep.
So we get to keep all of our creatures, which is sweet. So there are lots of ways to deal with that stuff. I want to check out this Inner Demon. Might not be very good. 18 cents. Oh, never mind. This is like a Wrath variant. So it's an aura for 2 black that gives a creature 2/2 flying and makes it a demon in addition to its other types. But when it enters the battlefield, all non-demons get -2/-2.
Sweet.
So you could, I'm gonna board it.
Yeah.
To the considering, but definitely a really cool budget option if you just want to like be able to clear out the little stuff and you want to play a bunch of 3-butts. Totally reasonable.
Did you want to do those crazy draw spells I sent you?
Yes, we can do some of those in 1 second because I want to talk about this card in this deck. So Steve was playing this week. We went to an awesome event up in Massachusetts on Saturday, and Steve had this card out in a Pirates deck that basically could have gone for the win, I think. But basically, this is like a creature type birthing pod. So 2-mana artifact, tap 2, tap, sack creature, search your library for a creature card, shares a creature type with it, equal to its mana cost +1, and put it on the battlefield. So it's a really good way of leaping up your creatures to lords very, very quickly.
Sure.
If you need them, especially your dinky 1-drops and 2-drops that, like, okay, I'll take and leap up, one of these Ammoboid Changeling. Great card, but can turn it into a 3-mana lord and just kind of start going to town. Hit Captivating Vampire, start taking their creatures. It's pretty fun. So that one's really good. And They Shall Know. This is Warhammer brought us a lot of cards, man. And They Shall Know No Fear. Have you heard this one?
I have not heard of this one.
So this is a pump spell in combat, or it's a protection spell / awesome blocking. Hey, our first instant.
Oh no.
1 and a white instant, choose a creature type, creature you control a chosen type, get 1/0 and indestructible until end of turn. For 2 mana, that's a very, very powerful effect. There's lots of ways of doing things, protecting your creatures, but that's the only one that I really wanted to put in here.
Okay.
Let's see here. Oh, this is another one. Kind of mean in a Changelings deck, but Steely Resolve. It's a bit expensive. It's a 1 and a green enchantment that gives all creatures of the chosen type Shroud. It's one of my favorite cards in Elves, for the most part, because you're rarely targeting them with your own stuff. It does happen sometimes where it shuts you down, but awesome in Slivers and stuff like that. But this is really good in the Changeling deck. Let's see here. Kindred Boon. That's the one I think I was looking at. I was thinking there's the other card. You can totally see what I'm trying to do, right? Like, just put it on big dumb enchantments that warp the game. but you basically get your creatures for on the cheap. This is one that enters the battlefield. You choose creature type. You can pay 1 and a white and put a divinity counter on the creature you control of the chosen type, and each creature with a divinity counter has indestructible. I don't think this is good enough, and with the double white and the white cost, it's probably not worth it. But I think it was reasonable to discuss in a tribal deck.
Is that a Jeff Soldiers?
Oh, this is a
deck?
Jeff. This is a Jeff.
Soldiers.
What's the 6-mana guy?
Darien
card, yeah. But still very good. Riders of Gavany, another similar concept. You just pick whatever creature type you don't want to deal with. Let's see, put those in already. Just a couple more support cards here. I don't think we need like Rhythm of the Wilds. Doesn't seem that necessary for this deck.
No.
Renari is one that gives like dragon spells flash, but it costs 4. Archetype of Imagination is just a 6-mana, give your team flying. And I don't think the rest of these are all that good, to be honest with you. I don't know how you feel about this one. Do you know that card? So,
maybe.
Fist of the Suns is not a card for this deck. But
you call Fist of Suns.
Fist of Suns, excuse me. But it does let you cast your... If you're going to go for big spells in this deck, because you can play some big...
okay.
Pay
Wooburg instead of something else.
Yeah, pay Wooburg instead.
It's original Joda on a artifact.
Yeah. The reason that this is really cool in the deck is it does combo with Mourn Fawn, your secret commander. Basically lets you pay all your spells for free. Creature spells of that type. So it's a really neat card. I don't think I'd want to play it in here, but again, with Mourn Fawn giving you that less to cast, I think it's free, right? I might be reading that wrong. That list to cast, and you can pay that. No, it doesn't work. I'm wrong. Excuse me. Let's remove this completely. I'm gonna take it. Beautiful artwork, though. Love the artwork on that card.
I want a spell that just makes a whole bunch of changelings.
How do you feel about
like an X spell, which is like make X changelings?
This is a commander I have yet to see anyone play ever outside of you on draft night for Commander Legends 2. This is Corlessa. Where is it?
The dragon one. The Simic one.
Right here. Scale Singer says, look at the top card of your library anytime, and you can cast dragon spells from the top of your library.
I was terrifying with this deck on Commander Legends Baldur's Gate. I just drafted all of the Simic dragons, and turns out that's just powerful.
Yeah.
I was immediately the threat, and then was immediately killed by 3 other people. Turns out you have to be a little more sneaky in that format. You can't just cast 5 dragons.
You can't.
You will die.
This one's a bit on the pricey side, like Rick, Cover of Darkness. So it's an enchantment that just like lets you get through. I think gives everything fear of the creature type of your choice, and it's 2 mana.
That's strong.
It's a really powerful card. I'm not gonna put it in this because I'm trying to keep the price at a reasonable point. But if you had this, jam that thing in there. Again, this goes with Rick and everything like the big boom booms. More sticking towards the fun side, I think, right now. Especially with how wacky these. We're not going to get that deep in making sure, testing the specific number of every creature with every other creature and blah blah blah. Just kind of storm out some fun ideas. This is another really fun idea, Lathless. As I said, we don't need dragons in the deck because it's not a dragon deck per se, as the deck name entails dragons.
Sure.
But Lathless is a heck of a good payoff in this deck. I don't really like the sketch version, but 6 mana dragon, so 5 mana because you have your commander. It's a flying 6/6. Whenever another non-token dragon enters battle for your control, make a 5/5 dragon. And then for 1 and a red, all dragons get 1/0 until end of turn. So it seems like a slam play in this deck. It's a very powerful magic card, very cool. And it's a really good like payoff for you going wide with these dinky creatures.
That's what it really is.
Yeah. That's a really cool artwork, too. I really like it. Let's see here. What's Water Spout Weavers? You know that one?
No.
I write down so many card names, I can't remember what they all do.
Not surprising. Sounds like a creature.
Does sound like it. Yep. Oh, this is the kinship one. So, another kinship one. It's a 3/3, and then if it matches, each creature you control gains flying until end of turn. So this is kind of another way to get your team through. 5 mana, I don't really like it as much. Yeah, you're probably going to say it too, right?
Yeah, 5 mana is a lot.
But it is a really powerful
maybe
ability.
Get something.
Yeah.
We don't do that these days.
Nah, not really.
You pay 5 mana, you're going to get something.
Let's see here. Peer Pressure. So last cards on my list here, I think. Oh, Ratadrabic. Don't let me forget these two. Patrician Geist. Peer Pressure.
Ratadrabic, huh?
It's just a suggestion. Like I said, if you want to lean into the...
Peer Pressure. Oh.
Did I miss it?
Sorcerer.
Yeah. Oh, there. This is my pick for one of the best cards in the deck. It's choose a creature type. If you control more creatures of that type than another player, you gain control of all creatures of that type. So you could gain control of whatever their best thing is, or if they have multiple creatures. If you're playing against another tribal deck, they are screwed.
Yes.
If you have more creatures then, though, because they're going really wide, it might not be good. This might not be that good a card, but I thought it'd be fun
It's
to talk
fun.
about.
It's very fun.
It's definitely fun. Probably not making our cut here, though. Because it does require you to jump through a lot of hoops of having a big board, and then also playing against somebody who you want to take control of one of their creatures with a 4-mana sorcery. There's just better ways to do it, I think. But fun because it's one of those creature type cards that you don't see a lot. And not Ratadrabic, I guess. Patrician Geist. 22 cents. I think we're coming up on the close here of making our cuts. Well, we gotta put some more changelings in. Patrician Geist, you see it?
Yep, right there.
Patrician Geist. It's another lord. It says flying. Other spirits you control get 1/1. Spells you cast from your graveyard cost 1 less to cast. I don't think we need it, because we have a lot of that effect.
Yeah.
But just as if you had one and you want to stick that one in instead, cool. If you want to lean towards like a 3-color version of the deck, that's totally fine. So, you know, I like to add a lot of neat stuff to it. Anything here that looks like an egregious oversight, or should we start heading
No,
to some
I
more
mean, you got.
changelings?
I assume this is the higher CMC changeling?
Yeah, it starts low, goes high.
Okay.
I like Webweaver. I'm okay with that one. It's a 5-mana changeling. It's 3 green. I think it's a 3/5. Might have reach. When it enters, you gain 5 life if there are 3 or more creature cards in your graveyard. So, totally reasonable.
That's
Shapeshifter.
fine.
It'll cost 4 mana, so that's a good rate for that. Let's see what else we got here. Should I start throwing some of these in? Changeling Sentinel. Sorry, man. Fingers are not on point today. This is the Vigilant 4-mana one.
Sure.
So 3 mana, 3/2, Vigilance, Changeling in white with just a single pip. Let's see here. I got a regular cohort. Leaf Crowned Elder, right? Did I already put that one in?
I don't see that one.
That one's a bit more expensive. It's probably good. Oh, this is the kinship one that I wanted to play. This is Descendant's Path on a Treefolk Shaman.
Yeah.
So it's exactly the same thing as Descendant's Path. Look at the top card of your library. If it matches a creature you control, put it on the battlefield. Or cast it without playing its cost.
Yeah, that one's the best one.
That's the good one.
The best one's green, you don't say.
Who'd have thought? We got Litjara Glade Wardens here. Spell Litjara wrong. 2 T's in Litjara? Come on.
It's not light jar.
Maybe it is. When I spell lit, it's L-I-T.
There's another T though.
Like little. Where did I put it? Litjara Glade Warden. This is a 4-mana 3/3 changeling.
With some
2 in the green. It's got some kind of upside to it. Basically 3-mana 3/3. Just kind of fills that role of needing cheap things to do. I think the Sentinel, Shifter, Kinseekers, more Litjara stuff. So it's clearly very good at 5 cents. And then we'll start making some cuts soon. So what do you think about this one? It says when it enters the battlefield, it's 3 and a blue for a 2/4. When it enters the battlefield, to control 3 more creatures that share a type, put a 1/1 counter on it, and then scry 1. So for 3 mana, you get a 3/5 likely that's going to scry 1. Seems reasonable to me. That's if you have no other cost reducers out. That's just with the commander in the command zone doing eminence things. What is this?
Did you see this this card that was in Kaldheim that was also played into this strategy is Absorb Identity.
Absorb Identity. 9 cents. It's got to be an instant.
It's an instant.
It's got to be. We have too many instants now. Return target creature to its owner's hand. If you may have shapeshifters you control become copies of that creature and run the turn. That is a cool ability, man.
So
that I really dig. Wow, that's mean. Yes, they're all Grave Titans. Let's go. What did you play over there? The one that triples your mana? Sweet.
It seemed like a nice little interaction bounce spell.
Yeah, that's cool. I dig.
All right, we gotta make some cuts. We got anything?
Let me just
you
make
still
sure.
adding?
I just want to make sure we don't miss any of the really good ones. Like Cairn Wonder is okay.
There are not. Game Trail Changeling just says trample.
It's trample. Yep.
No, there's nothing. There's
War
nothing up
Spike
there.
is probably junky. Turtle Shell's junky. All right, let's start
Those
making
are
some
two-
cuts. Are we gonna put any like key removal in here? You think? Path, swords, anything like that? Beast Within, Chaos Warp, Gift. It leans green, so I'm like okay with a Beast Within, so you can have like something in a game.
Sure.
But I mean, do you want to put the other ones in here?
Probably not.
All right, we're just gonna stick with the fun part of the strategy.
Yeah.
This is more of like a goofy brew. That's something we're like gonna try to crush with.
Right. I mean, you know, if you want to just
We're also
take
only
the
at
top
we're only at
55.
28 lands.
Why did you do this to me? Why would you start at 28
I'm
lands?
sorry, I forgot. I was flabbergasted. I hadn't run the OBS before.
Oh. Why would you do this to me? You made me give me this false hope that I only have to cut 17 cards. Meanwhile, I need to cut 27 cards, Rich.
So we're gonna do 36 lands in this mana base. Let's go ahead and just make them forests for now. We'll add 8 more. Add more.
You could do better than that.
Save.
All right, we'll fix it after the
I'll
stream.
fix it after the stream, but
Because the deck, we can't post the deck list with that.
no. But basically, what's gonna happen is it's gonna be predominantly salty-colored, leaning towards green with a splash of white and red. Looking at the separation,
Okay.
it's likely gonna be the same even after we make the cuts. All 25 of them. Why don't we start with these enchantments? I think we what any of these look like they're superfluous or unnecessary or not very good.
I think the Liliana's Mastery is probably down on my list.
All right, move that to considering.
Um,
Crypt with Right's not necessary, and it's
All
kind
right.
of expensive.
dump it.
It is a good card, but we don't really need it. Do you like to give team 3/3 for 4 mana?
Probably not necessary. How many ramp spells did you do?
I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 with Wild Growth.
Okay, sounds fair.
And then we have Risen Reef
Yep.
to get more value out of that.
Yeah, I'm fine with all those.
So we'll go ahead and we'll just work our way up here. These enchantments all look pretty good. Shared Animosity could probably go, right? Because we're only going to attack when we go big, right?
Okay.
Because all our things are kind of dinky. And we have lords that do the same thing, right? Like
Right.
So, and then
And kind of in a more fun way
Yeah.
than Shared Animosity does.
yeah, and then trim the red too a little bit. I think all of these artifacts are great. I could
Yep.
see potentially cutting Icon, but I don't think you should. You do want to change the artwork though. If you're okay.
Sure.
Do you have an old border one? Did they give me an old border one? Nah, alright. So we'll just go, yeah, of course, like 2020. I really like the Pyre in this deck a lot. The Maskwood Nexus is going to be awesome. Use this white border code always. I know there's an old one for this. This is an old card. Before it was busted. It was busted then too. It's a really good card, man. And only one guy I've ever seen cast it and not win the game shortly thereafter and still end up winning the game. John. I want to cast this Coat Arms like turn 5 or whatever. It's
No, it was like turn 3.
I think these 3 instants are all very good. So let's leave those.
I think Whelming Wave can go.
Whelming Wave could probably go. Yeah, it doesn't actually kill the creatures. They
Nope.
just redeploy.
Dump it.
Throwing is pretty good. Crippling Fear is good. Crux of Fate is good. The Mass Appeal is pretty nice. Bidding. Yeah, I think these are all good sorceries.
Yeah, I'm fine with those.
And then we have 20 creatures to chop. Seems like a lot, though.
Yeah, it does.
So maybe pull the Patriarch's Bidding.
Okay. That's So we don't really have like a graveyard strategy.
Nah, not
We're
really.
not filling the yard. We're not milling.
You know. Like, I can see why it's good, but like it requires you to already be in kind of a winning position for it to be strong. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, that's fine.
Help reduce our cut creatures cost. Maybe we just cut the icon.
Yeah, cut the icon.
Because it does the same thing that a lot of the other stuff does. And we want to really kind of lean heavy into the creatures. I really like the Necro Duality though a lot. The etchings is good.
Probably don't need the Steal Your Resolve.
Yeah, it's not necessary. Although it does. Yeah, everything combos with Maskwood Nexus, but if you have Maskwood Nexus, it protects literally all of your lords. But yeah, not necessary to play the deck.
Yeah.
All right, now we do the cut 16 creature game. That seems reasonable. So Woodland Changeling. All right, let's get our Changeling count here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27 Changelings.
You want to cut 2 of them, or you want to leave them all?
Let's
You
cut.
said 25, and you're at 27.
Yeah, let's cut other things first, because the whole point is to abuse the Changeling mechanic. And then if we have to cut some Changelings, we can kind of figure that out.
All right. So I think my first strategy here would. Can I grab this for a
please,
second?
please, yeah.
I would go here and let's still group as type, but let's do a sort for mana value.
Okay. See which expensive ones there are and stuff like that.
So we'll start here at the bottom and be like, what do we want to do here? Funny how they group Reaper King as like
10
what?
mana.
10.
Yeah.
Is that a lot to ask to cast that and then keep having other thing? I mean, it's an anthem.
I think you pick between Udvara Hellkite and Reaper King. They both do the same thing. They win the game when you start getting them. Like, once you play that and you start playing the game after that, the game ends very quickly.
People typically don't like Reaper King.
Good point.
It's not a fun card.
Not even a little.
Not even a little. So I think it might go against kind of. I mean, it's powerful, but it's not as fun as Giant Dragons.
All right, I'm with you. Let's move into considering. It's a great card. John, awesome suggestion. We loved it, but we have to make cuts somewhere. And I think like Udvara Hellkite and Lathless kind of occupy the exact same space.
Sure.
So I'm okay shipping the smaller one that doesn't have fire breathing for your team. Or sorry, the more expensive one that doesn't have fire breathing for your team.
Sure.
Alrighty. Look at that. 14 more to go. I mean, we got this. This is nothing. This is hard. What are we doing? For me, I'd like to look at the double pips because those seem to be the hardest.
Okay.
As far as like
Especially
Undead War
if they're
Chief.
not green.
Yeah, so like double red one here. This one seems easy to cut.
I think the War Chief one seems.
Like haste is nice. It's really
No,
nice.
the White War Chief.
White War Chief. Oh, this one?
Like, I'd rather, like, if you're going to win with combat, I think I'd like the Undead War Chief, especially because we're leaning more Sultai. I like the Undead War Chief over the Daru War Chief.
Totally reasonable. Let's go ahead and move that one over. Do we just cut the Taunos because we kind of already have that effect elsewhere?
Yeah, I mean...
It's pretty good. It's the same as the
We
Necro
really
Duality,
need
though.
a lot of... We need a lot of Changelings.
Yeah. I think I'm okay cutting this.
So the doublers are... No, I'm saying the doublers are probably more powerful.
They're
because
more
we need
powerful,
a lot
yeah.
of them. Like they're probably... That's probably more powerful than like just a Nylea.
Alright, I'm okay. Totally easy to cut Nylea out. Let's see here. Should we cut the Leaf Crowned Elder even though it's really fun? Like it does what the Descendant's Path does, but for one more mana. Right? Let's just double check here. Descendant's Path. Reveal the top card of your library. If it's a creature card, shares a type. And this is
upkeep.
And this has to share a type with this, which is what the Changelings do. But would you rather have the creature that costs 1 more and has a 3/5, or would you rather have the enchantment?
I think I'd probably rather have the creature. Just because we can attack with the creature.
Good point.
The creature can work.
This is also not guaranteed to hit, so it might just be dead.
Right.
A lot of
Versus
the time.
like, I'd rather have a dead 4/4
Yeah. All right.
than a dead.
Moving up here, I think cutting the War Chief for Goblin War Chief is fine. Haste is very good. Don't get me wrong, but
The demon one's way better.
the demon one's so good in the fact that it makes them cost 2 less and gives them haste. This is only 1 less than they get haste, and it has double red for its mana cost. So these are very similar. Yeah. So we're doing good. 10 more.
What's Lord of the Undead give us for a payoff?
It gives all zombies 1/1, and you can return zombie cards from your graveyard to your hand.
That seems really good. That's
pretty
better
solid.
than the other zombies.
The Captivating Vampire might be an easy cut, though. It does require you to tap 5 creatures, 4 in it, if you want to gain control of another creature. Could be good.
What's right next to it? Death Baron's a lord that does anything else?
It gives
Death Touch?
It gives Death Touch, which is pretty good. But these are double black cards, you know.
I think I like the Vampire over the Death Baron, though.
All right, yeah.
Because it has an upside ability other than just being a lord. I think I'd rather have steel creatures than give Death Touch.
Yeah, that's more than reasonable. Actually, I want to review this General Kudro too. I know it's a good card, but like it requires you to do some stuff, right? Other humans get 1, so it's just a lord.
If you like that
And you can exile cards from your graveyard, but I don't like want to sack my creatures to destroy creatures.
There's another one from that same set. Let's see if I can find him. It's a white and a black card, and it says humans.
Oops, what did I just do? What did I just move? It's in history. Yep, can you give me that?
Nah, not as good. I was looking at General's Enforcer,
Oh, the 2-mana one?
which is the 2-mana one. It gives legendary humans you control indestructible. Not as good. I thought it was just humans are indestructible.
Gotcha. I accidentally moved Giraffe to the baby board. I just wanted to change the artwork on it. While we look at these some more. Alright, 9 more to go. We're getting there. The Guilt Leaf seems kind of unnecessary to me. You know, obviously it's got a lot of cool abilities.
The
but
draw effect is what we really
yeah,
care about.
the draw effect's good, but we have that on so many other pieces. Like, do we rather have the Guilt Leaf Archdruid at 5 mana? Do you want the Kindred Discovery at 5 mana?
Kindred Discovery, 1,000%.
Like when I think of what's 5 mana, you're talking like Coat of Arms is a win condition. Kindred Discovery is just better. Vanquisher's Banner is just better. In my opinion, it's easier to cast in a 5C deck.
Yep.
Also, it gives an Anthem effect. So I think that they're all kind of similar.
Yeah.
That's an easy enough cut for me,
All
even
right.
though it's a very amazing card.
Sure.
I want to really support the jank of this deck. So we're looking good there. This card was great, right? This did like everything amazing.
It like makes our team bigger, gives them Death Touch, and lets us play off the top.
Yeah, it's just too good not to play. The Corlessa might be.
Dump that thing.
The Corlessa does the same exact thing as the Realm Walker for the most part, though.
It's harder to cast.
It is harder to cast, but those are 2 primary of our colors. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Yeah, whatever. It's fine. Is there a reason to play that versus Realm Walker? Or, like, why would Realm Walker be better?
Because we can name a creature type that's more prevalent in the deck as a secondary. So if we look at our creature types and we figure out that human is our best secondary creature type, you name humans and then you hit more lords and you hit your changelings. Versus that will just hit the changelings.
Totally good argument. Perfect. And they both cost 2 mana. And one of them is 1 and a green, the other one's green blue. So I buy that. It's harder to cast the Corlessa.
I mean, the Nimble Trap Finder is good card advantage, but it requires us to have 4 creatures.
Yes.
It's not terrible, but I mean, what's our like our are we chopped out too much card velocity, or are we still pretty good?
I mean, we've got, as far as like just creatures alone, we're talking Magda a little, I guess. Nimble Trap Finder. Rolf can generate bodies, but that's not really it. Najila makes tokens. Realm Walker's actual card advantage. Risen Reef's card advantage. Leaf Crowned Elder's card advantage. Taunos' card advantage. Lathless' card advantage. Let's see here. Maybe we're playing too many Wraths. I only got 2 of them though.
2 is very reasonable.
Yeah, that's very reasonable. Maybe this Pyre can come out, like, if we're playing for fun. I don't know. It seems pretty good though. I want to leave it in there. But as far as card advantage, Vanquisher's Banner, Black Market, Necroduality, Kindred Discovery, Liliana's Contract.
Okay.
I think we have quite a bit.
What was your instant speed?
This is one that gives your creatures indestructible and 1/0. Creatures of the chosen type.
Okay. So it's like our Anthem heroic intervention sort of thing.
This doesn't look like 42 creatures, does it? For some reason?
No, it does not.
So we'll just have to cut more. We can cut some of these junky one-drop changelings if we want.
I don't know, man. You need them all. What if we stayed away from the creatures? What else?
All right. Let's see here.
It's just the mass appeal. Is that?
It's pretty good, but at the same time, like, I don't think we need to bother. Again, we can also just get to a ton of mana and play our dragon, and that's a pile of card advantage because we'll have lots of dragons.
Right.
So I think, yeah, we could probably side this one.
All right.
Yeah, that's
You
easy.
gotta get ruthless.
Yeah, gotta make cuts. Move to considering. Do you want to just go down to 1 Wrath? Just Crux, because this one doesn't actually guarantee kill everything. Even if it's neat.
So how does Crux work in this situation? What do you
Crux
name?
said you just name non-dragons. So it's likely they don't have dragons, but mostly all your creatures are dragons.
Destroy all non-dragon creatures, but our creatures are also.
But they are dragons too. So if it's
Okay.
like dragon rogue.
Okay.
You know.
All right.
So I can see cutting this one though, as it's kind of similar in its effect.
Yeah, cut it.
But-
It's only a -2, -3.
Yeah, it's not usually big enough to kill everything, even though -3 -3 is pretty good. Let's head back down this way. I mean, Etchings is good, but it's not that good.
It's not as fun
And
as
it's-
the Lords are.
Yeah, I think I can shoot this one to the side. I think Bears is awesome though. Bears is super awesome. This also ups our shapeshifter count too, our changeling count, which is nice.
We're down to 4.
Down to 4. Going 35 lanes. What's our
I
what's our
totally
curve look
could,
like?
because you got 12 ram spells right now.
That's true. What's our curve look like? It's mostly 2s, 3s, and 4s. So yeah, I'm going down to 35 lands, I think. And then we gotta cut 3 more cards. Where'd the lanes go? Sorry, everybody out there in TV land. I must be insane to try to follow everything I'm doing here. Also, Colin, if you're still listening, this is the one I want you to play on stream.
He is, because he just talked about the Crux of Fate.
All right.
It's the same question I had about Crux of Fate.
Again, as long as they're dragons, it won't blow them up. If you
Yes.
pick non-dragons, doesn't matter if they're all creature types. It doesn't say destroy all creatures that aren't dragons. Is it? Am I wrong here? Destroy all dragon creatures. That would destroy all creatures. Destroy all non-dragon creatures. Well, our creatures are also non-dragons. And dragons. At the same time. It's a hard question. We'll have to figure it out. But that would make me pull Crux of Fate for sure. So So I say destroy all non-dragons, and I have a bunch of dragons. It would destroy all those non-dragons, right?
Sure.
I think, actually, right? Because you just pick destroy all non-dragon creatures, and my creatures are dragons.
Yes.
So I would destroy all the non-dragons, except for like the humans and stuff that we have that are not changelings.
Because it's in addition, not whatever. So if you had a dragon frog,
Yeah, that would stay alive.
right?
If they have a bunch of
not
frogs,
because
it
it's
blows
just-
them all up. Yeah.
Right.
So I think it works the way I want it to.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah. 3 more to go. We're doing it. We're getting there.
Springleaf Drum?
I think Springleaf Bean is better than Wild Growth in this deck.
Okay.
So one or the other if you think we have
Wild
a
Growth.
lot of ramp.
Kick it.
The reason that, I don't know if you had heard me when I first talked about the mana base, is that there are quite a few lands that you could enter tapped
Yep.
if you'd like to, or that you might play tapped just so you don't pay so much life for them. And having like a 1 mana ramp spell is very good in that spot, especially
is.
because we lean green.
It is.
But it's easy enough to cut. Figure out if non-dragons means dragons don't die or things that aren't dragons die. Things that aren't dragons die.
Right. So it's because
Because
they're
those are
dragons
non-dragons. Yeah.
And yeah.
Like if this was a dragon tree folk, for example, we'll just say, it still would survive the destroy all non-dragons, even though it's a tree folk too, because it's a dragon.
Yep.
The card is just kill all. No, it's not how it works. It just kills all their stuff. That's not a dragon. It kills our stuff. That's not a dragon. I'm fairly confident about that one.
I mean, when you sit down against someone's dragon deck, you'll be upset about that.
Yep. What you do is you cast this card, they know no fear, and then you just pick destroy all dragons. It's pretty sweet. Down to 2, bud. We did say if we had to cut a changeling, that would be reasonable, right?
Yes. And it's the 5 mana one.
No way. This one's way better than any of these 1 or 2 mana dinkers.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really like the
All right,
changing
then,
outcast.
then
I mean,
get rid of the imposter.
the imposter. Which one's it? The 6 Pride? Think this is the best one to get rid of?
It's just a vanilla.
It's a vanilla 3-1. This is a vanilla 2-2. It's a vanilla 1-1. That one's free though. Vanilla
Yeah,
1-1.
but that's outside of our Sultai center.
Good point. Good point.
Harder to cast.
Do you think the Unsettled Mariner is probably one of the ones that's harder to cast though? Do you think the annoyingness of it is just enough?
It's super, super annoying.
It is pretty annoying. Everything's taxed by 1.
It works. It'll give people all the goddamn time.
Yeah, that's a good point. This one's pretty good with your Nibble Trap
What's
Finder.
the Moon Glow one do? This one, the black one?
It is a 2-2 that can gain Death Touch. So, just another vanilla E creature that you can potentially give Death Touch to.
Would you rather cut a 3-drop or would you rather cut a 2-drop?
I'd rather cut a 1-drop. Because they don't get reduced. And they're pretty weak. This one's free, so it's great. This one can get flying, but you have to tap another creature. And this one can't block and cannot be blocked. But
Yeah,
it's
dump
great.
the Changeling, man.
You know, they're all...
Dump the Outcast.
The Outcast works nicely with your Trap Finder, you know, because it can't be blocked. I don't know, man. This is hard. What's this one do?
Puts a counter on something.
Yes, this is the same as this basically, because this could just come in by itself, make a 2/2. This is 2/2, but this has the potential to do more.
What's the 4-drop white one?
Vigilance for 3/2.
That
seems easy enough
That
to
seems
cut.
junky.
One more to go. Yeah, it's a good point, Colin. Imposter is better than Woodland because it's... I mean, I think I want to keep them both. Woodland's in our primary color. It's a 1-mana 2/2 that gets bigger and fits with all of our strategy. It's like the cheap ones are great. And even some of the more expensive ones are pretty good.
Alright, I think we look elsewhere.
Yeah, I think
What's
so
our
too.
creature count down to? 41?
Yeah,
I think we look elsewhere.
Just go. It's either cut beast or cut pyre, I think, is where we're at.
Not
Right?
cut pyre.
Let's cut pyre. We don't want to sack our stuff.
All right, you did it.
All right, we've done it. This is 100. Oh, let's see where the mana base leans.
No. Oh, there you
Did
go.
I miss it? Or no? It's past all this junk, right? Yeah. So it's predominantly green, blue, and black, with a bit of red and white. Yeah. Looks like our production on these is all 40%, and this one is 86%. Seems totally fine to me. We're a little heavy on the green. Probably swap out some basics for other basics, but
Sure.
I'll probably add a second island and a second swamp, and then cut 2 forests and call it a done deal.
All right.
So that's the deck, everybody. And thank you for joining us tonight. I know it was a little. I kind of mucked it up in the beginning a little bit, but I appreciate everybody hanging on with us.
Yep. Sorry for coming in late and not being able to help with the tech stuff, but my daughter needed me, so I had to be there for a little bit. So.
Kids come first.
All right, guys. Hey, thank you for tuning in. Catch us next Monday at 10:30 or 8:30.
8:30. Yeah, I'm not gonna be
8:30.
here at
10:30. Hopefully not. No, Mondays at 8:30, and we appreciate you stopping by and have a good one.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. That's some goofy deck.